Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, slight sell-off on the Bitcoin chart today. That has affected the altcoins more substantially. Yeah, we see like 1.5% down on the Bitcoin chart. At least TradingView is showing that. Whereas when we talk about the altcoins, they are entering more substantial corrections, like up there, ADA 6.3%. I see it right on the right-hand side in the watch list, but you know, 5 to 11% here at least on the watch list. But anyway, you know, the altcoins are more volatile. It is what it is. The market is set certainly in anticipation mode. Lots of emotions on Twitter, everywhere on social media. People losing their minds over the ETF instead of just watching the charts. Okay, so just be careful out there. There will be more volatility, possibly even on the weekend. Maybe on Monday we'll hear more about the ETF. I mean, maybe even today, but I would rather say Monday. We'll see. We'll see. And anyway, we are focusing on the structure. The structure, when we look at the 1 hour chart here, hasn't changed. So it will just be a quick update. So we have here our A wave down, B wave up, C wave down. This is basically the short-term bearish scenario. In the short-term bearish, it's all part of an overall bullish scenario, really, until the market gets a sustained break below 34,100. There isn't really anything bearish here, and we have to give that wave 4 in a more extreme case space all the way down to that level. I don't expect the price to go down to that level. I have to say that very clearly. Yeah, I don't expect the market to go down that level to that level. Maybe a little more. That's what I would like to see. So primary scenario, you know, if you ask me for my preference, it would be for the market to go a little lower. But obviously, it's not a very strong preference. We've really seen what we need to see to consider wave 4 already complete, which is why I have wave 4 completed with a question mark here. But it's not very clear yet at this stage. Market will clarify soon, and we talk about it when I zoom in a minute, what we need to see to confirm which direction it's likely going. But bear in mind, it's not a very strong preference that we see more downside in the short term within an overall bullish scenario. So, you know, it's not entirely clear, and therefore, I think a news catalyst can lead to a lot of distortions. Okay, so if the pattern isn't entirely clear and very established, and there's room for interpretation, you'll see a lot of mood swings when there are catalysts, and there's a huge catalyst coming with the ETF approval. So I just want to warn you again about the upcoming volatility that is to a degree unpredictable. So I think it's not unpredictable to say there will be volatility, but which direction it's, you know, there can be irrational up and down movements. So you cannot predict every single wave there. It would be ridiculous to assume that. But obviously I can highlight where the support sits, which I did, and we're going to zoom in a minute. But just note that, yeah, the low could be in. I wouldn't have a problem with that. The structure is basically complete, but it would have to be a less probable W, X, Y structure. If we want to get a clean and probable A, B, C structure, then it would be ideal to go a little lower here, possibly towards 39K next. And if that happens, people will panic, but it would be part of the scenario. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute chart. Here, really, since the last update, not too much has happened. Bitcoin sees a little bit of downside, but we're still above the wick that happened late yesterday, around midnight, actually. No, early in the morning. Yeah. So I have the short-term bearish scenario, which suggests we still go down lower in this wave 4. In this scenario, the price topped in a B wave on the 2nd of January. And since then, we've seen a 1, 2. We're likely still in the wave 3. It's a diagonal pattern. Then a wave 4, then a wave 5. This micro count will likely change. But to be honest, if this is wave B of 3, it might be finished. And if we now see a break below 42,600, this would accelerate the move down in wave C of 3, targeting probably 40.2K next. Just note there is a trend line here that will also offer some support. The problem that I highlighted earlier today was that this wick and the dip down yesterday or early in the morning, it was not a 5-wave move, so only a 3-wave move. So I cannot clearly favor that the B wave has topped already. Such movements can always morph into something more complex, like a triangle, whatever. Too early for that, really, to determine that. So again, it's that kind of movement where we cannot have a strong leaning towards immediate downside. The market would need to give us a swift move below that 42,600 level to further confirm that the C wave is unfolding. I have also, in the short-term bullish scenario, noted that here the wave 4 could have finished, that we are in a leading diagonal as highlighted in white, in which a 1-2 setup completed. We're now also in wave 3, so it's, in both scenarios we're in a wave 3, and in both scenarios a B wave just finished. So it's literally keeps us in limbo, but that's no surprise because that's exactly how the market is feeling. Remember, people are nervous. You see very nervous movement in this range. That's all very characteristic of this kind of news event coming. A lot of anticipation, bulls and bears are fighting, no clear direction yet. So we'll have to get the market to clarify. And I highlighted what we need to see to the downside to confirm the yellow count is clearly in control. Again, it's my preference, but if I see a break above the 45,900 level, and if we see 5 waves up like that, above that level, then I would confirm that the low is already in. Would still be needed to see a 3-wave pullback afterwards, but it would be the first confirmation. That's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you will like the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.